It's episode 10 of Pentagon for Gold, and we're starting a new season with a decent opportunity to get to the top of the table, while we're also in the total CAF Confederation Cup, the second best division in the entirety of Africa. So I'm quite excited to try and get some money from that. Now, because I'm doing so well with finances, I've actually made my first signing with money. I'm very excited about this deal. This guy's come in from Wits, who are not actually doing particularly well. They're predicted to finish 7th in that division. They did come 15th last season, I think, 13th. So they weren't doing too well. So they're actually in the South African second division. But I found this guy who looks unbelievable for a 15-year-old in this division. 4-star already. I think he's got Danish and South African. Yes, Danish and South African nationality. He's got good English, so he'll fit in well. And he's got some really nice stats. So 14 tackling, 18 bravery, 14 decisions, 20 determination. So he will improve as much as he needs to. 11 positioning, 12 teamwork, 13 work rate, decent pace and stamina. So I'm very excited about this one. And it'll probably mean that Mukamela will move into centre back, as this guy is a right back. But I'm honestly so delighted about signing this guy. He's only 15, so undoubtedly he'll have tons of potential to grow. And I've managed to get him for up to 100k really. 76 up front, but not too bad. You know, I just readjusted my budget a little bit. I did have 4k wages, and actually I wasn't going to get through that and get anyone any good. So I thought I'll get this guy. He looks really good, and I had my eye on him since sort of midway through last season. So I'm so glad to get him in. We've also used this opportunity to get a new chief scout. I don't think we actually had one last season, but I've got Jesus Montoya, who, if you look at the number of nationalities that he can get players from, it's quite outstanding really. Lots of South America, lots of North America, and he's got 20 adaptability, which is probably why he's got so many nationalities that he's able to give me players from. But it'll also mean that he can get in straight away, adapt to the club, and hopefully he'll get used to South Africa quite quickly. I'm not going to send him on an intensive language course because I'm not really sure if it matters too much if he's got 20 adaptability anyway, and also it costs money to do that, as Lelucho's discovered in the past. I've also gone for this guy for a striker, Luis Sandoval. I'm the only club in for him, I believe. Or no, actually, Independiente Medellin are now in for him as well. He's been playing in Colombia. He's probably the best player that's a free agent at the moment that is a striker. So he's really my only option because everyone else is a bit rubbish. And if you look at my team report, Buchanan's more of a right winger, so the only real striker I have is Knox Matizwa, which he's a good player, but he's probably not enough over the course of the season. But with regards to the rest of the squad, we're looking pretty strong. So Darren Johnson's now left. He's gone, I think, 2 Wits actually. And we've now got Luca Diana Oliaro promoted from our youth team. And then the rest of the squad, it's really quite strong. We've got a lot of options in every position really. And centre-back was looking quite weak before. We've got Simahoro on a non-contract because he wanted a lot more money to sign a new contract. And actually just keeping him on a non-contract means I only have to pay him when I want to use him. And no one else is in for him, so there's no need to offer him anything new. Mukamela's got a small injury, so he's going to miss the next game. He's also wanted by St. Truden. It's only minor interest, and I don't know if he'll actually mind too much if he stays. But today's game, we play in the Confederation Cup, and we're playing against CS Constantine, who only seem to have one player, which is probably a good sign for us. We've got 2 legs against these guys, and yeah, so this is the preliminary round, I believe. So if we get through here, I don't know if we'll get any money from this round. I'd imagine it'll only be later on that you start to get money. Yeah, so there's no money from the preliminary round. First round, there's not really any. Maybe it's only the group stage onwards that you get money. Yes. But it's a decent amount of money you do get for going to the group stage, so hopefully we can qualify for the group stage and then get through further, because our expectation, I believe, is to get to the final. At least that's what the board told me initially. Whether they still think that, I do not know. Let's see. Yeah, reach the final. So if we do reach the final, We'll get 485k for losing and 970k for winning. And that would also qualify us for the... Oh, it only qualifies you for the Confederation Cup. That's an odd one. I would have thought that that would qualify you for the the CAF Champions League, but apparently not. Oh well, so let's head into today's game and hopefully get a good start in this double-headed game against CS Constantine. For today's game, I've got quite a few debuts happening. Flemming Iverson makes his first start along with Ali Masengi and Guillermo Kellis. Kevin Rivas has returned on loan and Liam Byrne is back on a free for his second debut. Fumbidzai is playing on the wing as Narodian's a little bit injured. He should be fine to play pretty soon, but I didn't want to risk him early on in the season when there's not really any need. Most of the players aren't fully fit in terms of their shape, so I'm going to be rotating as much as I can in the next few weeks to get everyone back to the best condition that they can be in. As we head into this game, this is hopefully the start of a really good run in this competition, because this is probably one of the most important competitions that we could possibly have in this continent. A lot of opportunities to get money this year, actually. It does show why the top teams have so much more money than I ever had in the earlier stages. We're slight favourites for this game, but we are at home, so that does suggest that this is a decent team, even though they do only have one real player. And he is actually unhappy because of the lack of competition for places, but regardless of that, we've got to do our job today. That's a good ball from Levenberg into Fumbidzai. Can he cause some damage? Musengi on the ball for the first time. Beloy on the edge of the box. He is our captain for the day, and he's almost put us ahead. Oh, just off the bar. It's a really good effort from Beloy. He's unlucky that's not gone in. Got some power behind that. But that was a good effort. Hopefully we can start to create a few more chances, because it's been a bit of a quiet start to the game. I don't know if away goals count in this competition. Almost hope they don't at this point, given that we are at home, but who knows. Mostelaga, Fumbidzai, Liam Byrne. I'm very confused, because Liam Byrne looks black in game, but he's got a white face on the game. I'll show you what I mean. I don't know if it's just the game doesn't quite show him right in game, or if it's the wrong picture that they've got for Liam Byrne. I'll have to look that up afterwards. Oh, lucky Beloy. Not to be denied. That is phenomenal from him. What a strike. Let's have a look at Liam Byrne. So as you can see, he's definitely white there. But he doesn't look white in game, which is a bit odd. Oh well, we can always look into it afterwards. Here's Regihimi. Oh, it's a poor pass in Matizwa is now in a good position, a dangerous position for them. Koopstad, and he's on the edge of the box and he's put it away very convincingly. Now playing as the Mazzala, particularly now that we've got Celis, who is complacent in his first game, which I don't quite understand and I'm not particularly happy about it, but hopefully that'll just be a settling in thing. Well, it's been a good performance. We've scored 2 very good goals. Perhaps I would like to create more, because this few chances is not ideal, but we've been really good with those 2 midfielders scoring fantastic goals. So let's hope we can build on that, and then the second leg won't be too stressful. Liam Byrne sends a long pass back to Levenberg. Thankfully he calculated right, so it wasn't too dangerous for him. Fumbidzai into Kellis. What's a good ball. Matizwa's got a chance here, and Mostelaga has snuck it in. He was not to be denied there. We're all over them now. 3-0 in this first leg. Fantastic. I don't know how many subs we can make. I'd assume it would just be 3. And now Kevin Rivas is going on the act. We're scoring with pretty much every chance today. This is really good. Promising signs for the season if we can be this clinical throughout. think it's time we get Fumbudzai off. We'll give Cdat his debut. He is a new signing. And then Musengi was needing a bit of a fitness test, but unfortunately we don't have anyone to come on in his place, so he will have to just deal with it. Shalulele can come on too. And actually, Cdat can play left back, so I'll bring on Narodian at left wing, who's now only 2.5 star for us. That's a bit surprising. He was our star player when we came in, along with Mostislaga. This has been a comprehensive performance. Very impressed with this. And now Cdat gets his first touch. Not being pressed too hard here into Narodian. Beloy's a little bit stuck here, but he's found Chalice. Berlin to Beloy. They're holding their line well, but we are doing some dangerous play. Really good effort from Mostislaga. Unlucky that that's not gone in. It seems that they have a lot of players back at all times. They've got a sort of 2 banks of 4 in the defence and midfield, but we're doing really well to play through it and over the top of it. Mahazi and Iverson has managed to head it back to Levenberg. He's not the greatest in the air, Iverson, but that was good work from him. And now Levenberg's found Narodian. And Cdat's got a ton of space over here. Can someone get in the box for him? Oh, that's unlucky. Mosilaga's shot just blocked away. Cdat sent it in. It's been cleared away reasonably comfortably, but we're still on top here. Cdat's been on the ball a lot since he's come on. It's been quite an impressive start from him. Zegdude. Good name, that. And Mahazi. Derahai. And he's sold him short, so now Narodian's on the ball. Can he find someone else? Mostialaga's through. That's a really good pass. Oh, wonderful goal. And now Matiz was got in on the act with his first goal of the season. Very happy that we've had a goal from 5 different players, I believe. Brilliant performance all round. And you can see why we are expected to get to the final if we can perform like that against a team that we were only slight favourites for. And there's a lot of games going on, as you can see. I guess that's what happens when you got the preliminary round, then 2 more rounds before a group stage. But that was very, very promising from us. And if we can keep playing like that, who knows what we could do this season. Excitingly, Flemming Iverson's become our youngest ever player at 15 years and 236 days. That's quite surprising. Thought it would be younger than that for other players. But where does he appear? Not the youngest goal scorer, youngest player. Flemming Iverson. I don't know who it was before that and how old they were, but very excited to have already had a bit of record breaking in his first game, really. We've also sold 1,044 season tickets for the upcoming season, with another 300 coming up, so we'll be around 1,300 in total. That's a good sign because not everyone that goes to games will be a season ticket holder, so we should have, hopefully, around 2,000 per game, which is a good increase on last season. Obviously, it's still not a fantastic amount in a 40,000 stadium, but I'm pretty happy with that, and it does help with our financial situation, which also, given that we've got so many competitions that we're in, with potential, I think, for about 2.5 to 3 million in winnings if we win everything, which is highly unlikely, it would be a decent situation for our finances next season if we can do well in some of the competitions and we can get some more fans into the stadium. I've now added some extra faces as well. I'm always a fan of face backs for regens. So as you can see here, Flemming Iverson and Ali Masengi, and finally Luca Diana Oliaro. All of them, it just kind of helps my immersion in the game. I don't like the normal regen faces, and I also struggle with Zealand's face pack. I can never work out how to get it to work, so I always use these faces, which I'm a big fan of, and I particularly like this one. Right, this guy was the face I used for a Scottish wonder kid I had in my York City save, who was a world-class box-to-box midfielder who I got for 16 million as soon as I got into Premier League and stayed for 10 years. So I've got good associations with some of these faces. This second game of the episode is against Supersport United. We are apparently just about favourites. This is in the MTN 8. We are playing with pretty much the same team as last time, except Mukamela and Fumbidzai have come in to this team for Rivas and Masengi, who is suspended. Rivas is just on the bench today, but not because he's a bad player. He's just a little bit less happy than Mukamela, so I feel like it's important to get him in the team, particularly because Mukamela, I want to give Flemming Iverson as many chances as he can get this season, so Mukamela might have to play centre-back quite a lot. Oh, that's a cracking start. What a strike from Fumbidzai. I was umming and ahhing between him and Sedat for the left-back position today. Eventually went for Fumbidzai, and he's repaid my faith instantly with an absolute scorcher on his weak foot. That is a cracking finish. Now this is a really weird tournament in that the prize money for it is very unevenly distributed. So if you win it, you get 800,000, which for a team like this would be phenomenal and would give us a much bigger transfer budget for future. Any other rounds that you go out, if you lose any games, you get 80k, and it seemingly doesn't matter how many rounds you go through to avoid only getting 80k. It just seems that you can lose in the quarterfinal and lose in the final, and it's exactly the same reward. Matizwa has scored again. That's great news. I didn't want to cut short what I was saying because it's an important thing with this tournament. So in a sense, if I'm not going to win, I'd almost rather go out now. But that does not mean that we will not be trying to win. We're going to go for this as hard as we can, because 800k could be a real game changer with this team. We'd be able to get pretty much anyone that we want in this South African division. And Matizwa's now scored a third. What a phenomenal performance this has been. I'm really liking how clinical we've looked recently. My one concern is the striker. Matizwa's great, but he's the only striker I've got, so if he gets injured or suspended or whatever, we'd have to play Buchanan there, and if Buchanan then gets injured, we've got no one that can play there at all. So we've gone in for a Colombian guy as the striker, as we've scored again, but he might not get a work permit, and in any case I'm not going to find out about the work permit for quite a while. I do have a decent option out on loan, but I don't think I can actually recall him, which is rather annoying, but I guess we'll see. I am also going for Velaphai on loan, which is quite an exciting potential signing. He would instantly come in as our key player, I believe, and it'd be nice to get one of our stars from Season 1 back. But whether he actually accepts, because he's now gone to Sporting in Portugal. This is unbelievable. We are so good so far this season. We've lost a couple of friendlies, interestingly, but I've generally rotated the team quite a lot for those. But we look unstoppable. We won the last game 5-0. This one we're winning 5-0, and it's only 49 minutes in. Liam Byrne here. What a ball into Matizwa, and that's a cracking save in the end. Unlucky. Really good effort from Matizwa, but what a pass from Byrne. Mukamela and Fumbidzai looking the most likely to be subbed off at some point, just because they're a little bit tired. I think Mukamela might have got a slight knock earlier on in the game because his fitness suddenly shot down. It's since recovered a little bit, but I imagine he'll probably want to come off at some point. Koopstad is quietly having a phenomenal game. 2 goals and 2 assists. What a player. He's definitely repaying my faith as playing him as the Mazzala, because he's been phenomenal this season. And if Velaphai doesn't come in because he turns us down or something, it's not a disaster, because we've got Koopstad, who's a fantastic option. I've tried going back for Makuma as well, but unfortunately they'd want 2.5k per week, and then enough to make it the whole total cost of the loan about 750k just from the monthly fees. And I have not been paying attention, so I've completely missed the opportunity to take players off, but we'll do it anyway just to get the fitness levels maintained. I think probably Koopstad we want to protect, given how well he's done so far. Let's give Mchilizeli a run out. He's on a non-contract. I probably would release him if I needed to, if it was to raise funds. Sumahora I could potentially release 2 to save up about 1.1k overall with those 2, but given that I've only got 3 real centre backs, I don't particularly want to get rid of Sumahora at this point, particularly because he's not on too expensive a wage. So as it stands, we are going through, and we're going to play Stellenbosch away from home. Probably rather be playing Maritzburg United than Stellenbosch, but we'll still take it. And then Cape Town City are through after extra time in a phenomenal game against Orlando Pirates, and then Sundowns have scraped through against Kaiser Chiefs with a 1-0 home victory. Hopefully that's a sign that Sundowns aren't going to be quite as good as they often are. Fumbadzai's injured for 1 to 2 days. Jodwan is out for 9 days to 3 weeks. He's a youth player, I would presume. Koopstad was phenomenal that game. And I don't think there's much else to have a look at here. So yeah, we're playing Stellenbosch in the next round. They're predicted to finish 8th, even though they finished 2nd last season. As you can see, they've done pretty well. They're a bit like us in that they were recently in the Glad Africa Championship. Then they finished 10th, then 5th, then 2nd. So they've been very good on this save so far. And hopefully we can beat them in this competition. But as you can see, if I go to the rules, so we're in the semi-final guaranteed. Loser prize money is 80k, and then the final, the loser prize money is 80k, but the winner is 800k. So if we can win this final, that would be phenomenal. We're doing pretty well on the finances now. We've managed to make even more money than we had before. I'm not quite sure what constitutes the other. If I have a look at income, what is the other? I cannot see a thing that would suggest that it's other. I guess probably things like merchandise and corporate facilities income and that sort of thing, or maybe just grants. Who knows? But yeah, so we're doing pretty well financially. We are improving a lot, and I reckon we'll comfortably get into the positive finances this season. It's just how much we can get, because if we could get up to say $1 million by the end of the season, we could actually spend some decent money on players, and that would be really good. You may have noticed also Iverson on a youth contract, paying him just 25k a week for the moment, and I don't know when he'll sign in proper contract. That'll be in over a year, so we'll be paying him just 25 quid per week for a long time. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and I hope you have a wonderful week and see you next time.